Have you ever thought about what would happen if someone with a $5 million salary, no fear, and a taste for trouble got together? You get Jesse Watters' Wildlife. In 2025, the king of TV news sits on a throne made of high ratings. Everything changed because of a secret story. And now we're about to show you the truth about his millions. You can watch TV at 8 p.m. in this case. There is a good chance you will only see one face in 2025. Someone has a face like that will get your attention. Jesse Watters is now in charge of all television news shows. People have been wondering for years who would take the place of big names like Tucker Carlson and Bill O'Reilly. Jesse didn't just fill them up though. He got new shoes and began running. His show Jesse Watters Primetime is not just a hit in 2025, it's a huge hit. The challenge from CNN and MSNBC is crushed almost every night. His other job, The Five, has been the top news show on TV for 4 years in a row. When you bring in those kinds of numbers, your bosses write a check. There are rumors that Jesse makes a huge salary of $5 million a year. That kind of money will change your life for good. To give you an idea, that means that about $96,000 hits his bank account every week. You have to work hard all year to get a nice car, but Jesse can get one every Friday. But he's rich in more ways than one. Jesse knows how to run a business well. It is thought that he will be worth between $10 million and $16 million in 2025. He has a lot of money because he works on TV, writes best-selling books, and gets paid a lot to talk. He knows he is a moneymaker and acts like it. Let's look at how he made that money first, then see how he spends it. He began in the bottom instead of the top, because he didn't begin at the top. In Philadelphia, Jesse Watters grew up in places like Germantown and East Falls. Not much was known about him. He went to William Penn Charter School, which was a good school. After that he went to Trinity College in Connecticut and got his history degree there in 2001. A lot of people think that TV stars are found in public. Not Jesse. He had to beg to get in. He got a job at Fox News in 2002, but it wasn't very exciting. He worked as a helper on set. What does that mean to you? That means he was the one getting coffee. He was the one who was logging tapes in the building's basement. He didn't have health insurance and made about $10 an hour. There was a big show on TV at the time called The O'Reilly Factor, where he worked. Jesse was hungry. He did not wish to remain in the cellar. He began to give Bill O'Reilly story ideas. At first O'Reilly told him to shut up, but Jesse didn't give up. He told him, "You're an idiot." He finally got O'Reilly to agree to let him take a camera out into public. This is where Watters' world began. He would ask people easy things on college campuses or busy streets. People didn't know the answers, so the results were often funny. It was mean, funny, and perfect for TV. Jesse didn't just ask me silly questions about music. He was known as the person who would sneak up on people. To get a judge or politician to talk to Fox News, O'Reilly would play music and say, "Send Watters." Jesse would then camp out in their garages. He would walk down the street with them. A journalist called Amanda Turkle was in one of his most well-known ambushes. It was bad things she wrote about Bill O'Reilly. It took Jesse and a cameraman 2 hours to follow her as she drove to her holiday spot in Virginia. As soon as she got out of her car, Jesse appeared with a microphone and began questioning her. The tone was hostile. The people he went after were scared, but the people watching loved the excitement. It proved Jesse was ready to do anything to find out the truth. His bold style helped him move up the ladder. He changed places and became the person sitting in the anchor chair. But there are risks when you move up the ladder. In 2016, Jesse was hit by a storm that almost killed him. To do a show about political ideas, he went to Chinatown in New York City, but he didn't ask serious questions. Instead, he made jokes that many people found very hurtful. People were asked if they knew karate. In the background, he played music from kung fu films. To make her quiet look funny, he even tried to talk to an old woman who didn't speak English. Right away, there was reaction. Some people said it was racist. They said it was bias and lazy assumptions. There was a call for an apology from the Asian American Journalist Association. In a statement, Jesse said it was all in good fun. It was hot though. It looked like his growing star might fall for a moment, but Jesse made it through. People will notice you if you stir up trouble, but you'll also be marked for harm. Jesse's personal life was about to blow up just as his business was taking off. Jesse was married to a woman named Noelle Inguagiato for a long time. In 2009, they got married and had twin girls. On Long Island, they seemed to have a perfect life, but in 2017, rumors began to spread. Jesse worked with someone he met. I knew her as Emma DiGio. She worked on his show as a junior producer, and was 25 years old. She was younger than Jesse, pretty and driven. They began to spend a lot of time together. They shared pictures on Instagram that made them look too nice. The truth came out in the end. Jesse told Fox News' human resources staff what he had done. During the music, he told them he was seeing a colleague. This is a big no-no in the business world. Emma was quickly moved to a different show, The Ingram Angle, so the network wouldn't get sued. But the damage was already done to his marriage. As of 2018, Noelle had asked for a divorce. The end of a 10-year marriage was messy and sad. But for Jesse, it was the start of something new. How did Jesse get Emma to love him? The story is really pretty shocking. His co-hosts were shocked when Jesse said it live on TV. It was his Deflategate move. She didn't seem interested in going out with him when he tried to ask her. He came up with a sneaky plan. He went to her car and pumped up the tires. Emma knew she couldn't drive home when she saw her flat tires when she went outside to her car. No one could find her. And guess who showed up to save the day? Mr. Jesse Waters. He pulled up and asked, "Hey, do you need a ride?" She got in his car without realizing that he had broken into hers. Jesse laughed as he told this story. He said the story ends well. A lot of people thought it was creepy that we got married. It showed that Jesse has a driven and sneaky side. He knows what he wants and gets it, no matter what. After getting divorced in 2019, Jesse and Emma didn't waste any time. They said "I do" in August of that year. They had a huge wedding in Naples, Florida, in December 2019, just a few months after that. This was an event for famous people. The list of guests was a who's who of conservatives. The younger Trump was there. It had Kimberly Guilfoyle there. They were there with Eric and Laura Trump. That was a clear sign that Jesse was now part of the top group. He was no longer just a writer. He was friendly with the Republican Party's most important family. Emma looked beautiful in a white dress, and Jesse looked like he had won. He had a new life, a new job, and a new wife. Jesse Waters has 4 kids now, and his house is very loud. First he has Sophie and Ellie, his twin girls from his first marriage to a musician. Since they were born in 2011, they will be teenagers in 2025. You know that as a handful if you have teens. Jesse talks about them a lot on The Five. He tells them funny stories about their phones, school dances, and how they roll their eyes when his dad makes jokes. After that, he had a second child with Emma. A boy was born to them in April 2021. Because Jesse was so proud, he named the child Jesse Bailey Waters Jr. He calls him a little bad guy. There was still music though. They had another child in April 2023. It was a girl named Georgina Post Waters. Jesse did something that some of his conservative friends didn't expect when Georgina was born. He took time off to be a dad. He helped Emma and changed clothes at home for a few weeks. On the radio he said, "I did change more nappies than I'm giving myself credit for." Now his weekends are full of sports games, toddler meltdowns, and carrying babies. There are kids from 2 different generations there, which can be crazy, but Jesse seems to enjoy the chaos. Where does this big family live? Music. They needed a house that showed how important they were. Back in 2023, Jesse spent $2.8 million on a huge house in Bernardsville, New Jersey. This house is terrible. It's 10,296 square feet. It's on 5.6 acres of land on Bernardsville Mountain. This place is known for being a safe haven for very wealthy people. Sounds of music. It's peaceful, green, and separate. The house itself looks like a farm from the South got lost in New Jersey. It has huge white columns and 2-story verandas that go all the way around. It makes me think of Jesse and Emma drinking iced tea on the porch and taking in the view of their property. Let's look around inside. A grand lobby with marble floors and a long curved staircase greets you as you walk in. It is meant to impress. The rooms feel like palaces because the ceilings are 12 feet high. There are 8 stoves in the house that use wood. That's a crazy large amount of fireplaces. It's in the living room, the study, and maybe even the bedrooms. It screams high class. The kitchen is where the heart of the home is, and Jesse's is very big. It has 2 islands, one for making food, and one for serving it. It has dark wood cabinets that were made just for it and French doors that lead to the yard. The library is also important. Yes, he does have a library. A spiral stairway leads to a second level of books and music. The walls are made of wood panels. You could smoke a cigar and think about your next job move in that room. For movie nights, there is a home theater downstairs, and Jesse likes expensive wine, so there is a wine cellar downstairs. There is a horsehouse outside for guests. Trump Jr. will have his own place to sleep when he comes to visit. There is also a pool with waterfalls for summer fun. Jesse used to be a beach bum before he became the lord of the house in Bernardsville. His holiday home in Beach Haven on Long Beach Island was very nice. He took an ugly house and turned it into a gem. It was on the water. It had plenty of space for everyone and decks where you could watch the sun rise. Adding a new kitchen and a fancy bathroom cost him a lot of money. But even for a millionaire, having 2 homes is a pain. He sold the beach house for $1.65 million in 2023. He was sad to leave, but now he had money to put into his new home on the mountain. He gave up the sand for the peace and quiet of the forest. This kind of man doesn't drive a Prius. He has a tank. Jesse is very happy to own a Ford F-150 Raptor. Let me explain. If you don't know what a car is, the Raptor is a terrible animal. It's very big, very wide and very loud. Jesse drives it to the store even though it was made to jump over sand hills in the desert. It costs more than $70,000 and uses a lot of petrol. Jesse really likes it. It comes up on his show. If they don't drive a truck, they're a conservative, he music says about the guys who live in the suburbs. For him, the truck is a sign. I am a tough American man. He hates electric cars. He makes fun of them all the time, it says. In a video that went viral, he said the only electric car he would ever drive is one that doesn't need a driver so he could take a nap. He wants to hear the engine roar. He wants to feel how strong it is. Have you seen how good Jesse looks on TV? His style is very clear. The clothes he wears are custom made and fit him like a glove. He doesn't buy things off the shelf. Even though these are tailored jobs, his everyday style is just as well put together. In fact, a clothes company called Greyers named a pair of trousers after him. They have trousers on. This is the best preppy dad outfit ever. He pairs them with a nice button-down shirt and maybe a jacket. He always looks good, whether he's at a party or on stage. Watch his wrist for music. Jesse likes watches. He often wears high-end watches. Fans have seen what look like Rolex and Omega watches on his wrist. But he doesn't show them off. These watches cost more than most people's cars. In 2025, Jesse is in his late 40s, but he looks younger. How does he do it? He came up with his own workout plan, which he called the 20-pound method. He says this method helped him keep off the weight and lose 20 pounds. It's not about going hungry. It has to do with power. He starts by making his own food. He says that diner food is bad for you because it has a lot of butter and salt hidden in it. He is in charge of what he eats because he cooks at home. Second, he does interval training with a lot of energy. Yahya, he only works out every day for 30 minutes. He doesn't work out for hours on end with big weights. Music, to burn fat, he works out in short, powerful bursts. Third, he stopped eating fast food totally. There will be no more drive-thrus. Though it sounds easy, it takes hard work to make it happen. Every night on TV, he looks lively and fit. We need to talk about Jesse's other way of making money, which is writing books. His very first book, How I Saved the World, sold a lot of copies. He did, however, write a new book in 2024 called Get It Together, Troubling Tales from the Liberal Fringe. This book took a deep look into the strangest parts of American culture. Jesse went out and talked to some really strange people. He talked to a cuddler for a living, someone who gets paid to hug people. He talked to a trans woman who says she is a dog, a cat. Yes, she barks and crawls around. Jesse didn't just make fun of them, he tried to figure out why they were acting this way. Most of them had problems with their dads, or had been through bad things in their lives. He wrote a book from these crazy interviews that got a lot of sales. On a huge book tour, he signed copies for fans in New Jersey and Florida, Where lines wrapped around the block, Jesse has had a crazy year in 2025. He has been going even further than before. In one part, he got into a fight with the whole country of Canada. He made fun of the idea that Canada should join the United States as the 51st state. He said it would be an honor for the US to take them over. The Canadians were very angry. They wrote a lot of mean things on his social media pages. Jesse just laughed. He said something strange about guys who work at desks, which caused more controversy. He said sitting in front of a screen all day turns you into a woman because it gives you estrogen. He said that real guys work outside. Someone on the show, Janine Pirro, looked at him and said, "You sit behind a screen." People on the internet made fun of him for days. But once more it kept his name in the news. So how does Jesse Watters live in the year 2025? Things in life don't always make sense. He fights for the middle class even though he lives in a mansion worth $2.8 million with marble floors. Music, he talks about conservative values, but his marriage has a scandalous beginning. He drives a Ford Raptor to look tough, but he dresses sharply and wears pricey watches. For years he's been the guy that everyone loves to hate, or hates to love. He is rich and happy. He has a beautiful wife, 4 kids, a house on a hill, and $5 million coming in every year. He worked his way up from the bottom of Fox News to the very top. Whether you like him or not, Jesse Watters is the winner. The American dream is being lived out loud and strong, and there is just the right amount of controversy to keep you watching.